Okay, we look at the second charges yang kita panggil sebagai emission or effluent charge. So what is emission or effluent charge? An emission and effluent charges assign a price to pollution typically through tax. Maknanya kat sini a fee imposed is a tax lah ya untuk setiap pollution yang discharged by the firm. Okay. So once the price mechanism is in place, the polluter can no longer ignore the effect of its environmental damages on society, right? So the cost of damages become part of their production cost. So now, because setiap pollution yang mereka lakukan perlu diletakkan tax, therefore the cost of emission ataupun the cost of pollution itu telah menjadi sebahagian daripada dia punya production cost. Okay. So this is, we call it as added cost lah, cost tambahan. So the polluting firm can either continue polluting at the same level ataupun pay the charge or invest in abatement technology to reduce its pollutant releases and lower its tax burden. So this seems to be quite realistic compared to the pollution charges this now lah. And then, of course, the firm will use whichever method or action which minimize their cost. Right. So the model, the emission charge model, is actually implemented, which I mentioned just now. Dia a bit, kita kata it's more realistic ataupun practical lah, yeah. Right. So we assume that the government will set an abatement standard at some acceptable level, denoted as AST. So you can refer to the figure, and we consider a policy to polluter with the options to be undertaken singular or combination. Maknanya sama ada dia boleh charge a single ataupun a combination option lah, dia ada option, So the first option is that the polluter must pay a constant per unit tax, denoted as T, on the difference between the existing abatement level A0 and the standard abatement level that government have implemented AST. So the total tax is this lah, this is the total tax. So total tax adalah the tax that government implement tu darab dengan the value lah abatement yang government dah implement minus dengan abatement yang sebenar. Ataupun a polluter incur the cost of abating. So what is the cost of abating? Dia bayar sahajalah, cost of abating. Okay, so look at the figure again. Look at the figure. So because the per unit tax is constant at T, kita assume the per unit tax government akan bagi a fixed amount lah. So the marginal tax juga akan jadi constant and it is horizontal. It is horizontal at the tax level. And so the cost of abating represented by MAC lah, marginal abatement cost. And each unit of abatement, the cost minimizing firm will compare marginal abatement cost MAC with the marginal tax MT and choose whichever is low. So kita nak tengok firm dia akan compare lah marginal abatement cost dengan marginal tax MAC dengan MT. So dia ada dua option lah, So the first one, the firm will abate up to A0, because here marginal abatement cost below the marginal tax. Inilah, So government kat sini, ingat horizontal marginal tax. Jadi bila government dah bagi fixed amount of tax kat situ, so kat sini polluter akan abate up until O0 until A0 lah. O until A0. Maknanya dia akan abate up to here because here marginal abatement cost less than marginal tax. Maknanya dia akan abate. Right? So the total abatement cost represented by the area O, A, and here lah, ni segitiga ni. So this is the total abatement cost. Okay, and the costs are lower than what the tax will be up to is zero lah ya. So kalau ya, so bila kita tengok ya dekat area ini, this is the cost of abatement lah. So the cost of abatement ini lebih dikurang, lower than the kalau kita ambil tax. Kalau tax will be higher lah. So the area of tax ni kalau the firm bayar tax OT A and A 0. So lebih banyak dia kena bayar tax berbanding dengan dia abate. So lebih baik dia abate lah daripada dia membayar tax.